Hey, oozes and bunnies. This is a preview of the most recent Party Planning, an extra podcast that the Join the Party crew makes for our Patreon. If you want to listen to the whole thing, go to patreon.com/jointhepartypod. Check out this preview. Finally, I'm going to take my revenge on all of you, and you have to do a poetry creative writing workshop with me. Ha ha ha.
Now, Eric, like my single high school creative writing elective, can I just Control F and replace the names in my fanfics to random men's names?
Hey,
Did Amanda and I both do that in the same creative writing class? Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Incredible.
that's
and we
the
pretended.
backbone of publishing. Of course you can. What do
We
you
were ahead of
mean?
our time.
The funny thing is that you and Julia did that, Amanda and Julia, and Eric and I both did poetry, creative writing minors. So it's like ships passing in the night here.
Mm-hmm.
I think about that all the time because I got my creative writing minor at NYU, so there was a ton of poets around that were willing to get money from NYU. So like Marie Howe and Eileen Miles, two incredibly well-established poets, got my terrible poetry slam ass poems. Like Eileen Miles marked up, like lesbian icon Eileen Miles, like marked up my final packet. And I'm just like, I can't. Some of them were good, but other ones were like, this is definitely what a 22-year-old writes. You know what I mean?
But Eric, that was her day job that let her otherwise be like a lesbian poet about town.
Yeah, just like wear Converse.
Yeah.
Like be a lesbian. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, listen, it's honestly for the best that people do not have the experience of doing creative writing workshops because it's like such a backbone of what I teach. So I'm just like, yeah, dude, let's just keep doing it. Something I like learned how to do when I was 18 is continuously still coming back around.
Oh, I wonder, does the sort of like, would the shine come off the apple for people if they were more familiar with the workshop format? And then that was just a thought that I had privately just a moment ago. And then I thought to myself, is it offensive to Brandon to use the phrase the shine off the apple? Because for him, no apples ever have shine.
That's true. That's true. Well, they are shiny, but they don't shine metaphorically.
We're really making space for Brandon here.
We're holding
Unless
space.
they're
Holding space.
Baked into a pie or something like that.
All right, folks, you want to know what we're doing today?
Yes, please.
What?
We're doing a superhero proper name writing workshop.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because we started a new. I'm just gonna move on.
Kablam!
Like at a writing workshop, just ignore what people are saying
How?
because they're going through their own process.
It's not just you ignore it and then I have to be like, oh, this guy fucking sucks, man.
Ugh, I'm in competition with this person going forward.
You gotta mutter to your neighbor.
Because Campaign 4 has started and we have already recorded a few episodes, of course, I've gone back to the well and talked to Misha about how some of our plots have been going. And I was talking to them about how a lot more of my prep has been about proper nouns. I feel like the backbone of superhero world building, but also just like the genre, is that everything is named. I was thinking about this a lot in episode 1 where I did some pickups to like fill in some proper nouns that I wanted to go back to and fill in, which I don't, we were recording this early, so I cannot remember what's out yet. I don't know if it's out yet. It doesn't matter. You won't be able to tell because Brandon's good at his job. So, and Misha was like, oh, when we were doing Ars Paradoxica, which is the time travel, might be the only time travel show that is more crunchy than Tenet. As time travel goes.
And better than Tenet.
Definitely better, but definitely crunchier. Misha told me that they all just like went around and came up with like words that were science fiction-y.
Yeah.
And like would be secret at a government facility. I'm like, that is such a good idea. And I wanted to do for all 4 of us to contribute to that right now.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to put like 10 minutes on the clock. which we're going to zoom through for you all listening. And I want us to fill in as many names as possible into 4 different categories.
Okay.
The first is heroes. Any superhero name is good works here. I think there's something about the fact that they should in theory be a good guy, but I think that like not villain is what we're thinking about. So that is the heroes category.
Okay.
The second is going to be baddies. This is going to be villains, goons, megacorps, aliens, anyone who is like explicitly has that vibe of bad around it.
Okay.
And it can be like anything bad.
Okay. Never mind. I was gonna joke, but I decided not to make it.
That's fine.
Wow.
That's fine, Brandon.
Damn. Party planning. We can't edit, folks. This is it. This is how it is.
That's what it sounds like sometimes.
Yeah.
The third column, the third section, is going to be MacGuffins.
Ooh.
So this can be items. These shouldn't be people, but it's like anything that someone wants that would move a plot forward. This could be, I don't know, this could be tech. This could be an artifact. This could be like an algorithm or a codex. It could be anything that's an item specifically, but
Just like
MacGuffin,
plot devices, right?
plot devices, but it's specifically items is why I said MacGuffins, you know? And then finally, this one's going to be a little bit different. This is comic book names. These would be the names of the people. So any person, regardless of where they fall on the hero and villain spectrum, but this would be their government names. However, you may research this and look up real people's names to do with this. I want to explicitly say, as a athlete myself, this isn't like, haha, these people have these funny names. Man, but some of these names are great, and it does not matter what race or religion or persuasion they are. I love, in my heart, the Jets legend D'Brickashaw Ferguson, but I also love a new one that I learned, who is the former head coach of the Notre Dame's women's basketball team. Her name is Muffet McGraw.
No, it's
Hell
not.
yeah, dog.
No, it's not.
So it's like
She can't be a women's basketball coach named Muffet.
But she's a
No, she is.
What I want to, so like this is what I'm saying is like, yes, D'Brickashaw Ferguson, black man, Muffet McGraw, white woman. So it's like I'm not good names, you know, just give me some good names.
Got it.
So and you feel free, so you can either come up with them for this one or you can research them.
Okay.
The other ones, the other 3 should absolutely be from your brain, but the comic book names can be either from your brain or researched.
Incredible.
Cool.
Okay.
I have one already. I'm
Wonderful. So I'm going to put 10 minutes on the clock. Maybe we'll go 12, but we're just going to breeze through here. Does anyone have any questions before we start the workshop?
Not a question, but I am going to drop in our team Slack because I find for like heroes and villains, knowing what their power is helps me come up with names easier. So this is the randomizer for the superpower wiki. So just keep refreshing that. It'll take you to a different page every time.
That is good. I also have been using superpowergenerator.com
Ooh, fun.
if you want to avoid the fandom verse, if only because fandom loves making their websites absolute piles of garbage.
That's true.
And the superpower generator is also helping. I also want to emphasize these are just names. I agree with if you need help in any sort of detail for you to come up with this stuff, definitely do it. But it's like when we share, you're just going to share the name and maybe we'll build on it in some sort of way. But don't feel like you need more detail than whatever you used to come up with it in your brain.
Got it.
Okay. Cool.
Good
I'm
try.
ready. Exciting.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, folks. So I'm going to put 10 minutes. No, that's time.is. That's not my timer. We don't have to sync this here.
You can just watch the time on Riverside too.
No, I got it. I have the same one that I've been using since like 2006.
That
Shout
website
out to
does look like that.
online-stopwatch.com. Thank you very much. I'm going to put 10 minutes on the clock. Let's get it going, folks. And go.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay! All right, is everybody ready?
I think
Yeah.
so.
All
This
right.
rips.
I'm so excited. This is so great.
I feel like I'm so much better at these when I'm like prompted by a tiny little thing than I am when I'm just like staring at an empty screen being like, what are thoughts?
Well, you're about to be prompted by all of ours.
Well, there we go.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that the rule here is that everyone gets to share theirs. So we're going to all go around in a circle, and people are going to start. It's going to go Amanda, Julia, Brandon, Eric.
Okay.
Okay. And then each of us, we're going to share ours, and you can give any detail that you have. And if people want to add details to this person or thing, or feel inspired to share a different one, then just say it. And I'm just going to start writing all this down.
Great.
Okay.
And obviously, I want you to send me all of yours later, so that we're going to have one big document that we can refer to.
Incredible.
I feel like it would be, unless anyone doesn't want it, but I feel like suggests of like name improvements is also good. Like,
Yes.
you know, like
Down
a
for it.
yes, like a yes and.
Yes,
Yes.
and yes, banana.
Yes, improvements, because they'll live side by side. This is literally just like a workshopping document, so it's not like
Right.
one usurps the other. So if anyone has ideas, just like throw them in,
Awesome.
and I'll write all of these down.
Yeah,
I'd also
yeah.
like to go like in a round if we can. So like one name, one name, one name, one name.
Yes.
One name, one name.
Yeah,
one
no,
name.
that's what we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
do.
Oh, I thought you meant like read all of them and then
No,
read
we're
all
gonna
of
go
them.
one. We're gonna go one in that.
Lovely.
Yeah, and then a
Sweet.
different person's gonna start depending for each of these 4 categories.
Cool, cool.
So I feel like we should start with heroes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So
I
let's
think we
start
should
with
do it in the
heroes.
order that you suggest.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's do it in the order. that you
Let me
said.
tell you, my comic book names are where it goes off the rails.
Good. All right, so let's start with heroes. So it's going to go Amanda, Julia, Brandon, Eric.
Got it.
Great.
My first hero name is
That was great. My favorite part was the accent work. If you like that, you got to hear the rest of Party Planning by joining the Patreon at patreon.com/jointhepartypod.